In this week's race around the world, we saw all the teams finish the Italian mega leg. And unfortunately, one team arrived last to the pit stop, and it was motivational speakers Richard and Dom. How are you both doing?
We're doing fabulous. Thank you so much, Blake.
We're very
Yeah.
happy. We didn't keep going, but we're happy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's just start with this. Let's get right into the meat of it. So, Dom, I want to know, like, for you, why was that chiseling roadblock so mentally, emotionally challenging for you?
Yes. So at that point, we struggled quite a bit, little bit with the navigation, and so when we got there, we were already pretty mentally exhausted. When I got there, though, when I saw the block and what we had to create, I was under the assumption that I had to make God Himself. I was just like, oh my God. And I told Rich, I said to him, I said, OMG, Rich. I said, they're all artists and not us. Like they're all artists. The whole cast is artists. And so I thought that we really had to do that. And I didn't read the clue, which says chisel out. The keyword was out, right? So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, and that's when you see me on the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. But Blake, what people didn't know is that while I was on the show, my grandmother was passing away. While I was filming, and I was processing through that, not knowing if I would be able to see her before the show ended, and she did end up passing. And then also on top of that, looking at this imperfect Michelangelo that I had to try to make as perfect as possible, right? Like it was a reflection for me of me. It was my moment to really grow because I'd been through a lot. I was homeless as a child, and I saw this sculpture that I had to perfect. And it helped me to realize that I get to accept myself with my imperfections. So I was really going through my own personal transformation at that moment on screen, but I'm glad I did because I got through it.
And Blake, honestly, that was one of the biggest gifts of the entire show for me. One of my favorite moments, because I got to see Dom. Look, as human beings in life, there's going to be challenges that we face where we feel like, no way, I cannot do this whatsoever. But I got to see everything, her humanity, her push through this belief that I can't do it and overcome that. And that was honestly so beautiful. And I'm so proud of Dom.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say on our show, that's one of my favorite things about like Amazing Race Survivor shows like that is you have these really intense games, but we get these amazing moments where you see these contestants like really show off their humanistic features. And I feel like we really saw that in this. So, all right, something else I want to talk about is you teased this a second ago. Your guys' navigation skills just weren't that great. So I want to know, did you guys do any preparation as far as that was concerned prior to the race? And then let's extend that a little further. Did you do any preparation at all before starting the race?
Yes. So we talked about this a lot. Who's navigating, who's driving. And
the first leg in Germany, we navigated actually quite well. We didn't have a big deal. In Florence, it was very, very different. We actually had a bigger map in Germany to work with. In Florence, the map that we had was a lot smaller, and the directions we were going were cut off. So you actually didn't see. I actually drew using someone's help, a stranger, kind of the street and where else to go. So, and we realized that probably I should have driven because he would have probably navigated there better. But we totally prepped. We totally did the best we could to get to where we were trying to go.
Yeah. Well, hey, you tried. You live and you learn, right? So, okay, now with last night's episode, the editing made it seem like it was really neck and neck between you guys and Linton and Sharik. So how do you guys know how far back you were from them, or like how close was that? And how do you feel that you were potentially so close to beating them and not being in last?
Right.
Honestly, we were not sure how close we were because we didn't see them.
On the screen, if you notice, they were there. And see, it was late and it was dark. We were so focused on finishing the fashion detour.
Yeah.
We did not see them, Blake, right there. We did not see them. Had we seen them, that probably would have ignited a little bit of a fire in us, but we didn't know that they were there and we were so close. So I'm glad that, Sharik got to continue because I really do love that girl and I really honor her on her journey with the race. She's an amazing spirit, her and her father. I wish we were able to kind of pick up a pace a little bit, but at the same time, we do feel it was our 3-year anniversary, third leg, and we were in group 3. So
so there you go. There you go. All right. One of my final questions If you guys could go back and change anything about your time on the race, what would it be and why?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. There's so many good answers to it. For me, it's making sure that we correct what we need to so we can move forward, not necessarily so we can win the show and win $1 million, but so we can continue to grow, continue to have more opportunities, more legs where we can grow our relationship, grow our personal selves. And honestly, that was the biggest gift. You know, a lot of times people are like, "Ooh, $1 million, that's life changing." Really, the growth is where it's at.
And I would be, to your point, to be specific, what I would have done differently is that in the last final detour, I would have chosen the other detour because we almost chose the other one. Looking back, it was a lot more straightforward because my memory, I'm not super photographic. And that was the thing is that, I mean, had I been photographic, would have got it like that, would have got straight to the pit stop. You know what I mean? So I would have probably chosen the other detour if I could do it all over again. And if I didn't choose the other detour, I would have really made sure that we remembered everything when we were looking at those models, and so that we didn't have to go back. Because when we went back, that was kind of like when we got out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, tell me this. If people want to continue to follow your all's journey, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so totally stay connected. I'm in the health and wellness space. I'm all about building up everyone in love and light. So follow me on Instagram at DOM as in Mary Jones .unity, as well as we work with schools nationally to help encourage students to believe in themselves. Richard's program is called the You Matter Global Movement.
And our website is www.ymgm.org.
Yes. So stay connected on Twitter, domjones.unity as well. And everyone just keep thriving in life.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you both so much. Seriously, all the best for your continued journeys. And for all of our viewers out there, keep watching Amazing Race every Wednesday on CBS. Thank you both.
Yay, thanks, Blake.